Hello and welcome to the Kaiju is in the Details, a chronological investigation of the Kaiju film. This time we watched Earth versus the Spider. Wasn't a whole lot of Earth in here, but there sure was a lot of the Spider. So, Haru, what'd you think of this film?
It's basically what comes to mind when I hear the word B movie.
Yeah,
Like,
it
this
it could
is
have been
just
worse.
the most B movie.
Well,
Like,
yeah, it's not Z grade trash or anything. It's just B.
yeah.
You pair this with something else in your drive-in theater double feature.
Mm-hmm.
Bert I. Gordon at it again.
Yep.
He
And,
keeps
and
swinging for the middle of the park, not the fences, just the middle of the park.
and he went ahead and plugged his own movie.
Two of them.
Yeah.
He plugged two of them at the same time. Amazing Colossal Man and Attack of the Puppet People.
Yep.
Crazy. And of course, you have to do the obligatory Bert I. Gordon, why would you mention a better film in your crappy film?
Yeah.
Amazing Colossal Man is a much better film than this.
Yeah.
Oh well. Oh well. Whatever. It's not a good movie, but it's not awful.
No.
It's just kind of nothing.
It's gonna be one of the more forgettable ones, I think.
Yeah, for sure. There is um okay, so I would say like overview, like there's some good effects in here and there's some bad effects. It's kind of a mixed bag as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Um sound design is pretty crappy. Direction is
Yeah.
nothing. There's
Uh-huh.
no direction whatsoever. I like, what is Bert doing? It makes me wonder
Yeah.
if there's if he's like at all good at directing. I feel like he's just not good at directing, but some actors are able to get something out of it anyways because they're good
Yeah.
actors. Because this movie is just, there's just nothing. There's nothing on the table at all as far as acting goes. Everything is non sequiturs too. It's just the most non sequitur movie ever designed. I wish I could represent this in my usual quote section, but like they don't make any sense when they're not in context, because the fact that they have no context that makes sense is the part that makes them crazy.
Mhm.
But even the plot is kind of just a series of non sequiturs. Like it's weird. It just, things just happen.
Yeah. The plot feels very, to me, just like not a lot of thought was put into how we get where we go.
They
It's
didn't
just
even try to give an explanation for why the spider big.
yeah, like, the plot just has ideas of where it wants to be, and it makes it happen. It doesn't care if it makes any logical sense. It's just like, "Yeah, this is what needs to happen next in the movie, so it's gonna happen."
This one is pure horror film. This is not a sci-fi film because there is no science in it. The spider,
Yeah.
just happens. The scientist guy who's our lead, of course there's always a scientist lead, is like, we got to study the cave to see what caused the spider to get big like that. And then they never do.
Yeah.
I thought it was setting up them figuring out what it was. It was probably gonna be radiation or some shit. Nah, they just don't. They just don't ever come back to it.
Yeah, I was expecting them to find, like, I don't know, like, some egg sack or something,
Nope, they
like
didn't do that. They set that up and they didn't do it.
yeah.
I think the only thing that they set up and then paid off was the electricity from the very beginning of the film, when the teacher is lecturing about the way electricity arcs between two points.
Yeah, like, the moment I heard that lecture happening, I'm like, "Oh, that's gonna come up later in the film."
That's how they kill the. It's either how they make the monster or how they kill the monster, and it turns out it's how
Yeah.
they kill the monster.
Um Yeah, no, like, also, what was his name? Mike? The
Mike
boyfriend guy?
sucks.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
He's an idiot. He's pushy. He's really
He's
pushy.
yeah, he's just
And he's annoying and boring at the same time.
yeah.
If you
Like
notice him at all, it's because he's being annoying. Otherwise, he's just like a bland piece of bread.
just start off from the very the very beginning of the movie when they're trying to find her dad, and he just seems to not even care that her dad could be dead. Like he just does not give a shit.
Oh, you know how he gets.
And then they come to this big cave that says, "Please go into cave. Plot is there." And he's like, "Oh, let's go to the cave. The plot is there."
Danger. Cave bad.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Well, I don't want to find your bracelet." And yeah,
He's so whiny.
he,
What if I just bought you a
he
new one?
complains so much.
He offers that one up even though he has no way of doing it.
Yeah. He's like, "I could buy you a new one." Well, I don't have the money for
It's
it.
like
It's like,
obviously
why do
not the
you
point of
mention
it.
it? Yeah, he's basically just there to be a negative Nelly.
Also love the way that he drops the exposition about the cave. Well, I never believed those stories about the cave. Maybe he didn't either. Just
Yeah.
fucking clunky ass bonk. Fucking pipe noise. And
Yeah, he's like the worst character in the
not a
movie.
good actor. Not a good actor either.
No, he's not. He yeah, he's not good. He's like the B-ist of the B movie actors we have here.
Well, I guess what he's known for,
What?
as far as acting career goes, theater.
Makes sense.
The co-producer and co-creator of "You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown," as in he wasn't acting in it.
Mm,
His only his acting roles are The Party Crashers, Earth vs. Spider, and Bloodlust.
cool.
One of the kids in Ma and Pa Kettle. Oh, Boise boy. This guy, he's not acted in very much, and it shows. He's not a very good actor.
Yeah.
Not a particularly strong actor. He
Yeah.
barely has a Wikipedia page. I think the strongest actor in here is probably the sheriff. That's Gene Roth, and Gene Roth's been in a lot of stuff. Like so much I would have a hard time listing them all off. If you have watched B movies before, you've probably seen him in one of them.
Mhm.
He's all over the place in these things.
Who was the guy that was the janitor? Because he looked very familiar.
Hank Patterson. It's Hank Patterson as Hugo. he's
Yeah.
from he's Hank Miller on Gunsmoke and Fred Ziffel on Petticoat Junction and Green Acres.
Hmm.
So if you know your sitcoms, you've seen this guy. You're
That might be where I recognize him from.
yeah. He's also been on a couple episodes of Twilight Zone. You know all the classic stuff. My Three Sons, you know that kind of thing. Perry Mason,
Mhm.
very TV character actor person. We have seen him before actually. We saw him in Beginning of the End and The Amazing Colossal Man.
Oh. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know where I recognize him from now.
just small cameos, but yeah. And then we have Ed Kemmer as our lead. He's mostly a TV actor. Got some Perry Mason on here. I actually watched Perry Mason for the first time a little while back. Fun show. Nice to see Raymond Burr doing his thing outside of Godzilla. And then as Carol, we have June Kenny. That's our female lead. And she's been in a bunch of B movies too. Saga of the Viking Women and Her Voyage to the Waters of the Great Sea Serpent, which is a very long title. Attack of the Puppet People, which we haven't seen. Just the opposite of a... Bert I. Gordon likes to reuse his actors a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I don't think a lot of these people are particularly worth mentioning. A lot of small roles, and again, none of them are particularly notable. I think Mr. Gene Roth is the best of them, and even that's like, it's just because he's putting some thing into the character. I guess Ed Kemmer is fine, but he's a little too corny for my taste.
Mm-hmm.
As Art Kingman, the head scientist guy. He's very schmarmy, I would say. Everything he says, it's like he's trying to do a one-liner, but they're not all one-liners, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He kind of comes across as just trying his best to sound smart and sciencey, but not actually sounding smart and sciencey.
Trying his best to sound like he's the leading like man. Like he's the lead
Yeah.
character. But he's not particularly good at sounding like that. But we have one other star, which is Spider.
Spider.
Spider, the Spider that Earth is versus. Honestly, I think it's really easy to get hung up on the bad effects in this movie and not acknowledge how many good effects there are in it.
Yeah. Honestly, like, kind of apart from the projection effects when they were driving and
Yeah, some of the rear projection effects in driving were insane. I don't know why they did it like that.
and the really bad screening effects towards the like latter half of the movie. Everything else seems pretty fine. Like, not the most amazing effects ever, but like they did a decent job, I think.
Yeah. The problem here is a division between when they're doing like a rear projection effect or just like removing the background and replacing the background with the shot that they want to have the spider in, versus
Mhm.
when they try and isolate the spider and then place it on top of a scene.
Yeah.
When they try and isolate the spider, whatever they're using for their transparency is just completely destroying the film. And it makes the spider like a third invisible. Like the main body of the spider
Mhm.
is literally becoming like invisible. It's one of the worst screening effects I've ever seen. But the rear projection stuff all looks pretty serviceable, and the movie knows that the screening effects are awful, so it mostly sticks to rear projection, or just like there's a lot of scenes where they do the Godzilla effect, where they have like a front scene where they have the people in a set, and then they have the back scene where they have the spider in a miniature set, and then they overlay the two. That all works great.
Yeah.
Or at least well enough for the it's all I don't think anything really particularly stood out to me as like, oh, that's bad, except for the cave scenes. The cave scenes do not look particularly good, and they are using that similar
Mhm.
effect. But the reason for that is that they're filming in one cave. Let me see, let me make sure I got this right. They're filming in Bronson Caves in Griffith Park near Los Angeles. And then the scene they're laying over top of that to make the cave look more impressive is Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico, the national park.
Mhm.
So they're overlaying two different cave systems on top of each other, one of which is a still, so it doesn't move with the rest of the footage. Like the footage shakes and jitters, but the Carlsbad Caverns picture they have does not.
Yeah.
and it looks terrible, and it's also lit completely differently. It really does not look good at all. I think if you had literally just removed that, this like that top layer, the scene would have looked fine.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine they're probably not all recorded in Bronson caves. Probably some of them were recorded in a set designed to look like a cave. But yeah, anytime they do that overlay effect with that picture from Carlsbad Cavern, and it's the same picture every time too, which makes it even more obnoxiously noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like ass. Uh, but it's like that effect, the driving rear projection, and the transparency on the spider. Those are the three effects that don't work at all, and everything else looks perfectly fine, which is really inconsistent, but has a higher average than some of the movies we've watched.
Yeah.
It has lower lows
Mm-hmm.
than some of the movies we've watched, but it has a higher average. Like, I would say overall, the effects are better than The Amazing Colossal Man, because The Amazing Colossal Man has so many effects that just kind of make him look like he's a ghost.
Yeah.
Although The Amazing Colossal Man also has some of the incredible, like, miniature stuff, too, going on. So maybe that's not the best example. Maybe the better example would have been the Colossal Beast.
Yeah.
Although this movie is not nearly as bad. This is at least watchable.
Something I noticed with the effects, is in a lot of the scenes where they're kind of having people and the spider in the same shot,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's a close up. To save the effect of the spider, they basically just have like a leg showing.
Yeah, they have a prop leg that they made. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like the fucking spider. It's really good.
It's a good prop.
They've also got a couple scenes where they have like they very clearly have told everyone to stay behind a certain line, like in their mind,
Mhm.
so that they don't end up hitting the into the section of the film where the spider is. But this one girl keeps leaning into it, so her head and the spider's foot are like luckily they're the same color basically, so it doesn't you don't
Uh-huh.
notice it too much, but there's like a little bit of weird overlap where the spider leg is on top of her, despite like perspective wise her head should be on top of the spider leg. It's really funny. Luckily that scene is made more natural by the fact that there is literally a velvet line, like a velvet rope separating them from the spider. So it's not just, it
Mhm.
doesn't look as unnatural that everyone is staying behind a line, but like they didn't bring the velvet rope up to where the people are, which is what they should have done to make that effect sell better.
Yeah.
Whatever. And a lot of blood in this one.
Yeah, I was kinda surprised actually by
Surprising amount of blood. Yeah,
it it's very
we don't
and
see blood
it doesn't
often in these.
yeah, it doesn't happen too often, but it's like at least 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm. We see blood in the original car crash that starts our film, which is a really crazy scene. It's wildly edited.
Mhm.
We see blood on like some of the people who get attacked by the spider. We see blood on the kid that's left behind after the spider goes through a neighborhood. Which
Yeah.
like how did the kid survive with all that blood get on it at the same time? Whatever. It's a cool shot, I guess. Although
Uh-huh.
they should have held on it a little bit longer because there's a really awkward cut as it screams.
Yeah.
It kind of it's literally like you said it was like the perfectly cut screams. It literally is
Yeah.
like that. The kid goes like ah, ah. Very strange. There's some strange editing choices in here, like here and there. It's like it's mostly like really bog standard, nothing going on, and then sometimes there's like a really weird cut,
Mhm.
just every once in a while. But back on effects, they also have the spider web. We got to talk about the spider web, which appears to just be
Yeah.
some like hemp rope or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very spiderwebby.
And everyone
It
like pretends it's sticky, and it's not. It's clearly not.
yeah. They do a little bit of a better job with it when, like, in the cave, where, like, they came back to the web after a while, like, and it had some, like, smaller threads in it that were, like, kinda looked like cobwebs, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
but, yeah, no, like, everything else, it just looks like rope.
The amount of times people just like get and down and stand on it is insane.
Yeah.
They just like, oh, I'm gonna stand on this on this spider web. It's gonna be perfectly safe, I think.
And, like, it seems about half the time when they do that, it's perfectly fine, and the other half of the time they do that, they get stuck.
It's really
It
inconsistent. Like a lot of things in this movie, very inconsistent.
Yeah, it's just whatever's the most convenient for the plot, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's literally it. It is not a particularly thought out film, it feels like.
Mhm. Also, another effect, it seems whoever was in charge of the sound design did not get the memo that all giant spiders are supposed to make, like, clicking sounds. Instead, they decided to make the spider make this horrid shriek every time it's on screen.
I could do it right now. Like it's such a simple noise to make. Like it's just a matter of you're using your vocal cords but you're breathing in instead of breathing out.
Yeah.
Like it's it's so stupid. It's crazy. I it's I hate it so much. It is really not
Yeah.
good. I don't like it. I guess another effect in a way, especially if we're talking about sound design, is so the spider, for some reason the spider gets knocked out by the DDT, which is
Mhm.
crazy. That it knocks it out but doesn't kill it. Like I don't know if it could get that in between state, but whatever. For some reason, it gets woken up by jazz.
Yeah.
For some reason, jazz or early rock and roll music wakes it up.
Yeah.
But when the monster wakes up, obviously everyone stops playing. And but like they're so when they're playing, they're using a track. They're just like laying a track over the audio. But once they stop playing, they have to like switch so you can hear the screams of the people, the actors in the scene. And when that switch happens, you can very briefly hear what they're actually playing, and you can hear the piano player just hitting the same note over and over again.
Yeah.
It is extremely funny. I love that. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun scene. Um, some surprisingly good dancing, actually. Like,
Well, at first it wasn't.
yeah.
They were kind of shuffling side to side.
But, like, there was this one dance couple that in the foreground that I just had my eye on, because like, they were doing some crazy dance moves. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, just, like,
Like the classic
there
swoop the legs on both sides move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's a classic swing dancing kind of thing.
like, he it I I'm trying to picture in my head. I think he, like, kinda picked her up and, like, she spun around him in the air or something like that?
Hmm.
Like, anyway, dances in the '50s were something different.
You had to make sure you could lift a person.
Yeah.
I'm looking. Okay, So I like to look at the IMDb trivia for these, just like give us some extra information on the behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I just came across one that says the interior of the unexplored natural caverns are extremely well lit. It's a movie. I want to see what the characters are doing in the movie. What the
Yeah.
fuck do you mean? Shut up.
It's also a bioluminescent algae.
Yeah, it's all the bioluminescent algae. They explain it. They actually explain it in the film. Your CinemaSins ding doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Die. This isn't trivia. This film offers much better special effects than its cousin and much more famous Tarantula. That's not trivia. That one that one has as many downvotes as it has upvotes. That's awesome.
It reached equilibrium.
Dude, that's deserved, honestly. It deserves more downvotes. Everyone, go downvote that trivia fact on IMDb right now. The only good trivia on here is that the original, so Earth versus the Spider is the title on the film itself, and what is the title of the film in, I believe it's copyright registry, because in this time period, the copyright registries were really weird in that what was on the film had to be what was the copyright registry. So if you forgot to put your copyright registration information in the film, it would just enter the public domain automatically, which is insane, honestly. I love it because it gives you a lot more public domain stuff, but it's kind of insane if you care about copyright law as a concept. But I think that would mean that its copyright name is probably Earth versus Spider. Wikipedia has it as Earth versus Spider. Obviously, it's the title that's in the film itself. But the film was actually changed to The Spider. So if you're looking at this on IMDb, you'll see it as The Spider. The reason for this is that it was originally called Earth versus the Spider, but when The Fly 1958 became a blockbuster, American International decided to ride on that success a little bit and changed the title to simply The Spider.
Okay.
On all the advertising material. But they didn't they didn't have time to fix it on the film itself at that point. They could only change the advertising material. So it's kind of you'll see the film as The Spider or Earth versus the Spider. I think Earth versus the Spider is a better name, less generic, easier to find. As like if you're talking about like in a modern day context, it's a better name because it has better search engine optimization. If you search The Spider on Google, you're not going to find anything useful.
Yeah, it's a pretty generic name.
I like Earth versus the Spider, although I will say The Spider makes more sense as a title, I guess, because there's not any Earth versus in this.
It's I can't even remember the name of the town.
This
It's
one
like,
town, yeah.
yeah,
I don't know if they even named it. Did they?
They named it. It's like it starts with an R, I think. Like I can't remember what it was, but like Rock Point or something like that. I don't know. It was like Rock Point versus Spider.
Yeah, I don't think that would sell very well though. Some fake town name versus Spider.
Yeah. In fact, it's literally a plot point that they get cut off from the rest of like civilization, so they kind of have to fend for themselves against the spider. So not a whole lot of the rest of the earth getting involved in this conflict.
Yeah, not a lot of Earth in this versus the Spider. Like they don't even bring in the military. Like a lot of these end with the military being brought in. This one doesn't.
Yeah, true.
They just bring in more pest control, and they bring in like a guy from the Department of Transportation to dynamite the cave. That's all they bring in the line foreman for the electricity. That's like all they bring in are utilities people.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of interesting.
Honestly,
actually,
it's kind of a really it's a more grounded way of dealing with the big bad than just, "Let's bring the military and all the guns."
Pow, 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 pow,
They're just
pow.
like, "Well, here are a couple of dudes that work in that local area and know certain trades, and we can use their help."
Yeah, I like it, honestly. I think it's a cool,
Yeah,
like, it's not only is cool because it's different from the norm. It's cool because it's not glorifying the military. It's cool because it's like just it's using like the stuff that you have around as your like finale, right? You've
and
got
it's
yeah.
showing that you don't need just guys with big guns to be the
Mm-hmm.
heroes. Like, your local, like, your local workers can be the heroes.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of based a little bit. I mean, the sheriff is
Mhm.
still involved, so you know it's not perfect. But the
Yeah.
sheriff is kind of an asshole too, so you always got to comment about everything.
Mhm. He just absolutely did not believe in the giant spider initially, which,
Fair
makes
enough.
sense, but it was also.
He's also got to quip about everything, though. He's just always got to quip.
Yeah.
Always quipping. He's like Spider's man,
Mhm.
except a cop.
Yeah.
Wait, Spider's man in the Spider movie? Hmm. Is there something natural about quips and spiders that just kind of go together?
Maybe.
You don't have to
That'd
follow me on
be
this one.
that'd be, no, that hang on, you might be onto something there, like, surely there's gotta be some sort of, like, connection.
Yeah,
You know what? That's gonna be my research topic for 2026 is why are all the spiders witty?
that's true. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We still have 30 minutes of podcast. I feel like we're done. That's the movie. Oh wait, I forgot the
Well,
most important part. Themes.
yeah, we haven't talked about themes yet.
Not really, at least. God. What is this movie trying to say?
Well, thanks for listening.
Like, there's not even radiate. We can't even just fall back on radiation being bad. Like, radiation bad. Okay, there's
Like,
nothing.
so
This is
there's
popcorn fare.
yeah, like, that's literally what this is. It's just, like, to be entertainment on a big screen. There like, this is just grasping at straws, but, like, there is a little bit of of what we just mentioned where it's, like, the heroes at the end were literally just local people,
Yeah,
but that's also just more a circumstantial thing and not that it was intentional. That's the message that they're trying to deliver.
it's what I pull out if I had to write an essay about it. You know,
Yeah.
it's that one feels like such death of the author level, like pulling stuff out of the like just a text that does not want to be interpreted.
Yeah. If anything, it might even just be a stronger theme that if you plan on going out, tell someone where you're headed.
It's a PSA. A PSA about always telling people where you're going before you go.
Yeah.
I kind of like that idea.
And also, follow signage warnings.
Yeah, don't go in the cave.
If a sign tells you, "Danger, do not enter," maybe you should not enter.
Although, if they hadn't done that, they wouldn't have found the spider, and they wouldn't have
True.
known to kill it and then bring it into town for some reason. Not for some reason, but like,
Mhm.
I don't know. This is nothing. This film just doesn't have anything to offer. It is I think this is perhaps the most popcorn movie we have had on here.
Yeah.
Well, that's not necessarily the case, because we've had films on here that are also pure popcorn, but just have like a lot of racism in them that we can talk about as
Mhm.
like these are fulfilling a racist worldview just by happenstance of being racist.
Yeah.
This one just doesn't have that, which is good, but it doesn't have anything else either.
I mean, it's sexist,
Yeah,
but th
very lightly,
again,
just like in a
yeah.
normalizing societal norms kind of way. It's not there's not any glaring things to it other than the fact that
Yeah.
Mike is an asshole. And
Yeah.
he's like asshole light. He's just really pushy and annoying.
Yeah, he's not like a straight up jerk, but he's also not a very cool guy.
I got you a present. Why don't you open it now? No, your dad's probably fine. You know how he is.
Yeah.
He's probably fine. He probably went in that cave. It's probably fine. Let's go. It's probably fine. It's probably fine.
Yeah. Yeah, he just doesn't care.
This movie is full of gaslight, gatekeep male bosses.
Yeah.
The
True.
the sheriff tries to gaslight us, the audience,
Yeah.
when he tries to say that he wanted to blow up the place from the beginning. And like, what? No, you didn't. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like when the monster when the spider was dead and like off screen he said that or something. But like that doesn't work as a one liner to the audience when it happened off screen. Maybe it got cut out in
Yeah.
editing or something.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I want to talk about one thing. This is not going to mean much to you, unfortunately. Bert I. Gordon has some sort of obsession with teen culture of the era of the 50s.
Yeah.
And we notice it here. This is our first time actually getting to experience it. But if you've watched Tormented, you'll also get to experience this in a big way. But man, I don't think he understands like the teen jazz beatnik hep cats kind of culture, and like I
Mhm.
didn't live it. I don't necessarily understand it that well myself, because I wasn't in it, but I think I understand it better than him because man, these people talk insane. These people talk insane.
He's just the 1950s equivalent of "How do you do, fellow kids?"
Yeah. I wrote down one quote from those jazz musicians when they're talking to Hugo the janitor. Hugo's like, "Hey, the professor, or I guess he's not a professor, he's just a teacher. He told me not to let anyone in there because it's a giant fucking spider in there." And they're like, "Hey, he didn't mean us. He meant squares." By the way, this is like a fucking
Yeah.
nasally ass, nerdy ass kid. This kid, he's like talking like this. "Hey, he didn't mean us. He meant squares. We're the coolest zoologists in town." What? Huh? Very strange. And in
Yeah.
Tormented, another film that Bert I. Gordon made, actually not a bad film, I would say. It's actually kind of fun, but it's full of just some fucking hep cat ass lingo. 10,000. You know how 1,000 is like too long a word? You gotta shorten it to thou.
Mhm. This is like when a, like, Gen Xer tries to make something with Gen Alpha slang in it.
6, 7. By the time this episode comes out, that'll already be dated.
Yeah.
Especially because my wrist has been. If you noticed a down, like there was just a down period of no episodes, it's because my wrist was injured. This is several episodes out. So that's why I didn't mention it at the top. I think this is like literally 3 episodes. I have a backlog of 3 episodes I haven't been able to get to because of this wrist injury. So because of that, there's been a downturn of episodes. I forgot why I started talking about this. Oh, it's because it was going to be dated, right? Yeah. So I don't know
Mhm.
how long this is out. I don't know how many episodes we missed or days of episode release days we missed. I mean, 6, 7 is already on the way out. Like, I don't
Right with
know.
the Labubu's.
I just saw footage of Alex Jones doing 6, 7 with a giant Labubu, so I think it's pretty well dead.
I think it's dead. Like, that's gotta be one of the big nails in the coffin
When
right
Alex
there.
Jones starts doing it, you know it's not good. It's not. It's not a good sign. When Alex Jones, alone on Christmas Eve yet again, has this giant labubu and has it go 6-7, you know the memes are dying. Maybe he's just tired of it and wanted it to die, right? I feel like he's one of the people who has the
Oh.
power to kill a meme all on his own.
Yeah, I would believe it.
Well, we were talking about quotes. Like we did a little bit of quoting there. Let's do some more quotes. Again, this film is full of non sequiturs, and I've selected a couple of ones that I think are funny out of context as well. So, the spider, you know how insects just kind of move a little bit when they're dead? The spider does that and hits one of the teacher's friends. The secret is that the spider's not actually dead, but they think it's dead at this moment.
Yeah.
And the teacher is just like, oh, it's Gavini's reaction. Happens often. Which is like, that makes sense. It's a fun way. It's a way to explain it. And then the
Mhm.
guy says, not to me it doesn't.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does he mean by that? Not to me it
Like,
doesn't.
is he saying that
He doesn't get
he's
Galvini's
died
reaction?
and doesn't do that when he's dead? Or, like
Or he doesn't see insects do that very often? Because I see it all the time.
yeah.
Maybe he doesn't interact with insects very often? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand that one. That line made no sense. Do I even have another one? Like, again, there's a ton of insane lines in this film, but they don't make sense without the lack of context that surrounds it, right?
I mean, one fun one was when, oh, what was the gas that they used again?
DDT.
Yeah, when the pest control people come with the big tank of DDT and they're like, "Okay, what are we dealing with here? Because I need to know, like, how much to or, like, what,
Mixture, like a ratio.
yeah, like, what ratio to work with here,"
Poison the water,
and
it would be.
yeah, and he's like, "Normally, it'd be, like, a 1% or a 2%,"
He says 2 to
and
4. He says
yeah, 2 to
the 2
4.
parts to 2 to 4 parts.
And then
Or maybe it was for percent. I don't know.
who was it? Was it
The sci-
the
the teacher,
sciencey
because at
guy?
this point the sheriff is
Yeah.
not on board.
Yeah, the sciencey guy was like, "Better put it up to 50."
It's like, I'm not sure it goes to 50. Maybe if it's percentage points, then it does go up to 50. Like I heard it was like 2 parts to 4 parts, which now that I think about it, doesn't really make much sense. You could simplify that to 1 part to 2 parts. But if that was the case, then like 50 doesn't make any sense. But whatever.
Mhm.
Like, just make it 100% at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have one more. This one is going to require me to explain. Okay, so when they're looking for a way to finish off the spider to like save the kids from the caved in cave, the teacher who is the one who had been talking about electricity at the beginning of the film looks over and says, "That power line across the hills." And the camera cuts to a still image of a power line. It's not footage, it's a picture. Bert, Birdie boy, stop using pictures. They don't look natural in a film. I tried in my video essays, I try to avoid using pictures as much as possible because they just don't look natural in the flow of a video. And that's a fucking video essay on YouTube. What are you doing? You're making films. I mean, we are talking to the guy who used actual postcards in the beginning of the end, though. So
True.
he likes his pictures.
Yeah, this guy was not cut out to be a YouTuber.
Never would have made it in YouTuber Academy. That's all I got on quotes. Like, again, a lot of this film is just not particularly quotable because the humor of the lines comes from how the fact that they don't make any sense in the context in which they're said.
Yeah, like, honestly, if you do wanna hear, like, most of the quotes that we haven't been able to say, go watch the movie. Honestly, it's not the worst thing you could do with an hour and 15 minutes of
It
your
does not
time.
feel long at all.
Yeah.
It feels pretty breezy as far as films go.
Yeah, it's fairly well paced. Not the worst paced movie we ever watched.
Certainly not. 73 minutes long. So, yeah, an hour and 13. So it's actually on the shorter side as well.
Mhm.
But even then, it still feels pretty breezy. Like, it, if you had told me it was like, it does start to get a little long in the tooth towards the end. I will say that.
Mhm.
But if you had told me it was like a 30-minute film, I probably wouldn't believe you. But at 45, I could believe that, honestly. You could trick me into thinking it
Yeah.
was a 45-minute film. Little tricksy. Hee hee. You got anything else about this film?
Um, just one little tidbit, I guess, is like this time they actually do explain why shooting the thing a million times doesn't kill it.
Oh, yeah, that was
Because
neat.
yeah, the science guy is like, you can shoot a bug so many times and it's not gonna die because of you know how bugs work.
Yeah.
And yeah. And so, yeah, he's just like, "So you better call pest control."
Now, what doesn't make as much sense is that later in the film, they're like, don't bring the DDT. Even though the DDT last time paralyzed the spider. And that seems like a useful
Yeah.
thing to have.
He's just like, "It's not gonna kill it, so don't bother."
It's like, well, I mean,
And
couldn't
it's
you just
like,
paralyze it? Wouldn't that be nice to do?
I mean, it can't kill people while it's paralyzed. Like, yeah, it's not dead, but it's not gonna do any more damage, and it will buy you more time to think of how to kill this thing.
Exactly. Well, okay, it will do more damage. It is DDT.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a reason we don't use DDT anymore.
It is kind of like in this middle of the town at that point.
It is a really bad chemical, and it also is a really powerful carcinogen. Although they weren't as, I mean, some people knew it was at this point in time, but officially it wasn't.
And that's why they handed out gas masks to everyone but 2 people when they were gassing the place.
I think the idea is that they stayed back and that was fine. I do
Yeah.
love the one guy taking off his mask to scream in like the scream in horror. It's
Uh-huh.
like, oh, you're already dead then, bud.
Yeah.
There's no point in saving you anymore. Your face is covered in DDT.
But yeah, like there are maybe a few ways that they could have dealt with it. I'm sure fire would have worked.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised they didn't bring out flamethrowers, but like since they never brought in the military, that wasn't really something they thought
Yeah.
to do. They were using more homegrown stuff. They just brought in the pest control team. They brought in the people who maintain the roads. They brought in the power line guy, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I was kind of expecting I don't know, like did they just use up all their dynamite to blow up the entrance?
All except for
Cuz
one bundle.
they could have just used the dynamite to blow up the spider. Like
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, it would have been more dangerous to do so cuz
yeah.
you'd
I
have
think
to
that's
like
the
get
idea,
close to the spider to do that, but
and potentially
yeah.
cave in the cave in unpredictable
Yeah.
ways, as opposed to just caving in the entrance.
So, yeah, like, I guess caving it in is the smarter option, but I don't know.
Assuming there's not kids stuck in there, and why would they be in there?
Yeah, you know?
Why would they be? Huh? Well, is that about it?
Yeah.
Next time, we're finally finishing out the catch up with 1958's The Blob.
The Blob.
Beware of the blob, it creeps and sleeps and slides and glides across the floor. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. I don't actually know which blob has that theme song. It might be the 50s one, but it might be the remake later. I cannot wait to introduce you to the blob theme, though. That's not a fake song I was singing. That's a real song.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
in one of the movies. The Blob is an absolute classic. I don't know why we missed it first time round. But luckily, like I said, these past couple ones, we've been in the 1958 zone. So it hasn't been traveling too far back. It's all in the same year, at least. And then after The Blob, we finish our catch up and move on to 1959.
Yay. We're
God, we're
almost to the 60s.
Almost out of the 50s. There are 7 films left before we're out of the 50s. Whew. The long 1950s. I mean, to be fair, we started in the 50s. We started in the mid 50s, even.
Yeah, yeah. I guess the late 50s had a bit of an obsession with giant monsters.
Yeah, like there are literally more of these giant monsters. I guess we started in the 30s technically because of King Kong, but then we quickly shifted up. Like King Kong, Son of Kong, Mighty Joe Young were in the 30s and 40s, and then we immediately went up to the 50s. And I guess 1953 is technically not late 50s. It's like it is more mid, even early 50s, but like late early 50s. I think part of it is also just like how many of these films had like transformative dubs. That we had to see a second, like we had to see a second time or third time in the case of Godzilla.
Yeah.
We're not going to have as much of those moving forward. Still the occasional one, but not as much.
We're not going to get the psychedelic Italian translation of every upcoming Toho film.
No, we only got the one of that one. We only got one of that. Only one of them's. I'm eager for it though. 60s is where 60s is where Kaiju Eiga really takes hold. We really get like the platonic ideal of Showa era Kaiju cinema.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the thing that I was looking forward to when we started this podcast was like I wanted to see Godzilla, but like I also kind of want to see like just the other kaijus in the Zillaverse.
And don't forget Gamera too.
Yeah, Gamera, and you know we've got like we already saw a few of them, but upcoming we've got like Mothra. I'm flaking on the name of the three-headed dragon.
King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah, that's it. Yeah, some of those ones. I'm looking forward to see them make their debut.
Yeah. And that's where that's going to be the 60s.
Yeah.
We'll be there soon enough. We'll be there. Oh, at the rate of episode releases, maybe in 2027.
It's funny because we're recording this the day after 2026 started.
Yeah, who knows when you got this episode, but we're recording this on the 2nd and 3rd because the time changed over to the next day. It's 12:24 a.m. The 2nd and 3rd of January of 2026. But there are quite a few episodes in between us and Ghidra the three-headed monster. And it is every other week, so it could actually get us pretty close to the next year.
We're gonna be stuck in the 1950s forever.
The long 1950s, I'm telling you. All right, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed this funny little episode about a funny little B movie from the funny little 1950s. You can support us by showing this podcast around to all of your friends and family and enemies. You can make them listen to it and then make them leave a positive review, a 5-star review there on iTunes or whatever other podcast app you use. And if they ever show up in iTunes, we'll read them. I also need to check. I haven't checked in a little bit, but I'll get to it soon. I keep forgetting to. It's a process. It's a whole ass process because the way you log into iTunes stuff is like you have to actually you have to use an iPhone to like do the sign in stuff. And I only have an iPhone because I use it for my VTubing stuff as a camera. So I have to specifically be at my computer to check. And I have to be thinking about it and all the other things that come with remembering to do something, you know? So there's like an extra layer, extra barrier there.
Life with ADHD be like.
And then half the times they don't show up. Like they don't show up for forever. Hopefully someday. I know there's been some people who put some reviews in, and hopefully someday they show up there. But not yet. But that is where the best way to support this thing, other than like going to our Patreons or Ko-fi and giving us money directly, which is always appreciated. Haru, where can people find you specifically?
I am Haru Hayes, a puppy girl VTuber. I am over on Blue Sky, haru.vspire.live. I stream on Twitch when I remember to on twitch.tv/haruhaze. And actually, as of this recording, and I may have actually something up there by the time you're listening to this, I have a Substack now. You can go check it out. I'm just Haru Hayes on Substack. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into writing.
Yay! I'm Vampire Ian. You can find me at my website, vampireian.neocities.org. It gets you everything you want to know about me, including all my links to everything. By the time you're listening to this podcast, my wrist has hopefully healed at least to some degree, because otherwise, how did I edit this thing? And that means that this is no longer the case, but in the foreseeable future, and depending on how this goes, I'm doing a little bit more Twitch streaming than I am YouTube stuff. So check out the Twitch, but also check out the YouTube, because there's plenty of stuff for a Kaiju fan to enjoy, like my most recent video, Godzilla vs. Destroya, a 30-year anniversary retrospective, which is probably not my most recent video by the time you're watching this. Are you ready to say sayonara to the spider?
Yeah.
Sayonara, the spider.
Sayonara, the spider.
Next time, bring a little bit more earth with you.